Just pressed record. We're going to go ahead and start with the legs, okay? When we begin, you always want to start with a B, right? That's really blurry. Maybe if I can go like this, like I'm, aha! That's kind of better. Okay. So we're starting down here. I am left-handed, so I personally would prefer to start on this leg, okay? If you are right-handed and you want to start on this leg, that is fine. Again, you don't have to do this step by step with me if you don't want to. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I would go about shading. So, first off, I would probably give this whole leg just one nice soft layer. So I'm going to go ahead and just start at the knee with your B. And we're just going to go in with one very light layer.
Wait, I just have HB.
Is this HB?
Yes, that's an HB. I have a B because there weren't any more HBs. So we're just going in with a really light value to begin with. Should be open. Hi.
Hi.
How can I help you? Have I done something wrong? Or have I forgotten something? Because it's most likely that one.
Of course not. I need help.
Okay.
I need a favor.
Okay.
Big favor.
Okay. What do you need?
So, I am working on a backdrop for the Sadie Hawkins dance.
Okay.
And I was thinking of getting some muslin
Okay.
and painting a backdrop.
Okay.
But I don't know that I want to do that for sure.
Okay.
But so anyway, I need a backdrop for Sadie Hawkins dance. I was thinking of like painting the interior of a barn
Okay.
and then get a couple of bales of straw and
Oh.
just let the kids sit in front of them, and then
Yeah.
that would be the backdrop. Boom.
Okay.
So, and I have a picture that I kind of what I was looking at,
Okay.
but I couldn't print it off. I was going to print it off and give it to you, but
If you can send me the digital, then whatever like piece of like system we're working with, we can project it on there. I can trace it, and then I can have almost all of my students help me paint it.
cool.
So that would be easy. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm on it.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Have you fully covered the leg?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I have all of that recorded.
That could be my studio art mural because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay. You know what? Maybe that'll be our collab. We'll have the whole class do it. Because sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
At least for one person. I don't want to do it all by myself. Okay. So now, if you notice, the whole leg is covered. We're going to start going into some of these spots where it's a little bit darker. Okay? And doing that, you want to switch to your medium pencil, which would be your 4B. Okay? Please be advised that I am not doing any blending yet. Okay? So I would not recommend you blend either. I'm going to go ahead and start in the corner of the, I guess, knee pit. And remember how we talked about different techniques to use while you are shading, right? Realistically, I highly recommend we stick with circle motions. You're going to have a much cleaner blend. With a little bit more pressure, I'm going to just go ahead and very slowly bring in that calf muscle. And I'm just pressing a little bit harder as I blend it into the calf itself. It's Sometimes I feel like I'm just like talking to the wind when I do this stuff because it's so quiet and I'm the only one talking. So if it gets annoying, tell me and I will stop talking.
Pretty sure it comes right in.
He does have a lot to say usually. Not all of it's good. Notice as I move my pencil around, I'm focusing on making sure that I don't not only get in the right values, but I'm also focusing on all these little veins that are happening on his leg. We don't want to lose those because that's showing where the power is coming from with his leg. We want that intensity to show through. One thing I want to show you really quick, right here on his heel, you can literally see a shape sitting there, okay? And I can zoom in if we need to.
It's like a triangle.
Yeah, it's like an organic shape, but it's in a triangle state right here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and try to box that in right now. So I have the heel, that bone, and then I'm going to come back around, mimic the shape that I see. Whoa.
Someone just fell on the stage.
Yeah, I heard that. It was loud. Now that I have the shape in, I'm going to go inside it and start working on the value. Make sure that you have enough heel left over. Okay, I almost brought mine down too low. So make sure that we still have his heel. We don't want to lose that. Okay, now that I feel like I have a decent section of the back of his calf in, I'm going to go ahead on the front side and just very lightly bring in some more value. Because in reality, his whole leg is not going to be this light. So we need to go ahead and just darken some of those values in. Right now, I'm pulling some dark lines in, just mapping out where those veins are, so I don't lose them. If you look closely at the veins on his feet, you'll have a harsh line and then a nice white spot, okay? So we need to make sure we're shading around that so we don't lose it. That highlight's very important because it shows how intense that vein is. This whole backside needs to be darker. Having that light background really makes him look like he's outlined. It's stressing me out. Normally he would not have this much outline, but he does because it's a white background. How we doing? You feeling okay with it? Who's saying no?
Me.
Okay, let me finish up a little bit more of the overall value, and then I'll come check on you guys. That's looking real beefy. Okay. Okay, this actually does look good, but what I want you to do now is you have a lot of like hard edges, okay? Take these hard edges and blend them out. Okay, we took that hard line and now it's starting to blend into the background. Okay, you're doing great, don't stress it. Yeah. Okay, we've got the same thing going on. And then, so this whole path, it is quite a bit darker. So I'd go back in and just pull like these hard spots that we have just further up. Don't go heavy, just make sure you have another layer on top of them. And then again down here with this part of his foot, because it goes all the way down. So I'd make sure this comes all the way down, and then we can put a highlight here later if we lose it. Sound good? Okay. That looks good though. Looks good.
Wait, this actually looks good.
Okay. Looks good. I think that looks good. Okay. The only thing I would say is don't lose the full range of value, because you have a lot of like nice mid-tones, but these darks that you have, I'd pull them a little bit more out so you can see them better. This looks good. Nice job, guys. Okay, I'm gonna come over here, see how you guys are, how are you doing? Are you still working on the overall, the feet? Okay.
I keep making them too small or too big.
Ben Wagner, go darker. Okay, put in his toes right here. But I think those look fitting for his size. Good. Okay, we went a little too dark, so take your knees eraser and we'll pull the value out. Okay. Okay. While working here, still on the feet, I'm going to go ahead and start moving towards like the bottom of his heel. Notice all of that's very dark, but I'm still using my 4B because I don't want to go in with too much darkness too fast. We can take some of it back, but it is more difficult to do that.
So now we're using our darker shade, right?
We are still using our 4B.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're using a 4B?
Yep.
6B.
Do not be using a 6B. We can go dark later to touch things up, but I don't see us using it that much this time around. Okay, I don't want to move on too quickly. So I'm going to ask, is it okay if we move up to this thigh? Or should I give you guys a few more minutes?
A few more minutes.
Okay.
I'm on that side.
You should be on the foot, Chica. If you want to go ahead, that's fine. But don't respond for the whole class.
Too many things.
What? He has too many fangs?
Things. Where are we supposed to get a shading stuff?
I legit thought you said fangs. You can, I mean, you don't need one right now, but you can go grab one if you want to. Okay. Still need more time, or can I move on? Move on? Okay. Obviously, right here, we know that we're going to have a dark value underneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. And you want it to kind of be more so like a boomerang shape, I guess. Or crescent moon shape. So I'm going underneath that line we drew, and then I'm going to start to blend it forward. So if you've ever drawn a sphere and shaded it with me in class, you should be familiar with that concept. Just pulling up that value just a hair, and then we'll come on this side and bring this muscle to a point. I think I'm going to go just a little bit darker on this outer edge. And because I don't want a hard line, I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. And then it's going to go right into this under thigh part. But if you look really closely right here, there is a little sliver of light. So I'm going to make sure that I pull that out first before I start to shade. It's tiny, but it's right there. Going to go ahead and pull in a dark line underneath first, and then again same process, just blending it upwards, but make sure that we pull in this line right here. So before I shade, so I don't lose it, I'll go ahead and pull in that muscle line right there, and then I'll blend everything towards that. I have not been watching the way you guys are holding your pencils, but please remember that we don't ever want to try to shade like this. We don't have as much control when we're this close. And it looks like you guys are doing great with pulling your hand back. Okay, that's good. I don't know about you guys, but I just love shading. I think it's so, like, just soothing.
I would agree if I didn't sweat the details so much.
I will say that's fair, because I definitely have more experience with it, and so it just comes more natural to me. But I think the more you guys do it, I would say the happier you guys have gotten with it. based on our first experience with shading. Yeah, he's looking real meaty right now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, I'm gonna wait right now, come check on you guys, and then we'll go into the texture of his knee. I'm okay with that. Yes. Oh, everybody's lips are creamy. I'm so proud of you. Creamy. Yeah, that means like the way you were blending it. Because you're starting to learn to blend correctly without having to use a stump. And that's really where I've wanted to get you guys. I usually never use a stump, but it's harder to learn not to use it than to just like piggyback off of it. But you guys are getting really good at learning how to blend without having the stump. Yes. Okay. The only thing I would say is let's pull this value a little bit forward and then bring just a little bit up top to round it out. But it's looking good. You guys did those veins really well. Okay, perfect, but we still need to go darker. I would say, especially right here. I would just make that slightly darker, pulling it upwards. Okay, that bulge of the knee, where that muscle is sitting, and underneath the leg, we really want those values to like mesh together. And I feel like I even can do a little bit more of that. So the line where that bulge is happening and underneath, I think for everybody, if you just blend it in a little bit more, it'll look better. Yeah, see, that's what you gotta do. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to look the first round while you just get these.
Let me grab. It's that eyeball on the left. If you brought it a little bit further up. And maybe right. Oh, we want that angle. We really want her to look like she's stressed. I think we and this line up a little bit. Down here and have it. What? Yeah, it's because of the drywall. Sorry.
You know, I picked up like a really big piece and went like that. And
Oh, you need like a respirator.
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go in real quick to darken up my lines before we move on to the knee because I feel like I just need to pull more of my value in. So right here is what I'm talking. We really want to just blend that all together so it feels less choppy. When we get into the knee, you'll notice right here there is value that's kind of spiderwebbed out. Okay, again, we want all of that to blend together. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to go up under that muscle over the knee. Notice how I'm moving my pencil as I go just to make sure I have the right areas covered. Kaplan, did that help? A little bit? Is it... I feel like you kind of lost that cheek that's on that side. Is there a way you could pull the cheek out a little bit?
Yeah, but the cheek is very visible in the picture.
Okay, hang on. I don't want to give you advice while I'm not looking at it, because that's just not a good idea. Okay, and then there is that line right above the knee that kind of connects. So I'm going to pop that in, and then I'm just going to give everything a nice clean once over to make sure it all blends together nicely. Okay, I'm going to stop there and let you guys work on that. Probably, I know there's that little bump right there, but if I were to just straighten that out. Just kind of make sure it feels really fuzzy right here. I think if you straighten it out, it'll feel more like a sharp, smooth edge, which visually looks more appealing. Does that make sense? Yeah.
This looks like the inside of the body part.
The inside of a what?
Like, if you see all the muscles on, like, this diagram, that looks like.
Well, the idea is to accentuate the muscles while we're shading. And then when you guys feel comfortable, you can go back in with your blending stump and kind of clean it all up. But we don't want to get rid of anything yet because we are seeing quite a bit of these veins that he's got all over his leg. Okay, I know you guys have been antsy for this. We will now be using our dark pencil. I have a 7B, but you can have anything from a 5 to a 9, okay? We are going to be working on his shorts, but be very careful. It is dark up here, but it's not so dark right here, right? And I know this may make all of you uncomfortable, but we do in fact have to make sure that these lines are correct. Okay? I know, it might make you feel uncomfortable, but at least he's wearing pants. So we're going to start right up top. I want to get some of these bumps in for the folds of the fabric. And then we're pulling right up to his stomach. So that's all I've done so far. I'm going to start pulling these lines down. I am not going to do a hard line right here yet, because I want to make sure that visually I keep my eye on the prize, which is all this right here needs to be much lighter than the actual dark pencil. So I'm going to come down below and stop right here. So I'm leaving a section out, okay? We absolutely can go dark down here. And we want to make sure that that fold underneath his leg is visible. Now, if I were you, I would start just mapping out where some of these lines need to be so that I don't go too dark. Bless you. We have a lot of sneezers today. I know. Okay, I have a decent amount of lines in, so I can go ahead and start coming in really dark. Yes, you might say, but Mrs. Carter, your pencil, your hand is so far forward. Right now, with how tiny of detail I am working on, I am going to have my pencil forward. But in like literally a few seconds, you'll watch my hand go back. So I'm just coming up the other side of his thigh And it looks like I can actually pull some of this fabric over. I'm going to stop here, come to the other side. And the reason why I'm like blocking in all of the dark stuff first is because it's going to be a lot easier to go from dark to light as we start blending in these lighter sections. And we don't want to put too much down first, because if you can see, we have all these little lines we have to create later. But if we go too dark too fast, then we can't have these little highlights in the fabric. What time is it? Okay. Oh, I have made that mistake way too many times. Not watching the clock. We end at 9:20. So we got time.
Okay. I finally got it.
If you're blowing through your dark pencil too quickly, go sharpen it. There's no harm in sharpening your pencil. Am I going too fast? Okay, I'm gonna slow down.
Can you come check my toes of the foot, man?
Yes.
I feel like they're all right.
He came to see us yesterday. Well, he tried to, and then I think he chickened out because he stood at the door, and Mrs. McCutcheon and I and a couple other students were just like sitting and chatting during lunch, and I think he saw us and was like, "Yeah, no."
Just run away.
I was like, "Oh man." The toes look great. Can I help you fix it?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Dakota. Huh? Are you being skittish?
You need to do it like
No, for sure.
a couple of times. Like, oh, stressful. No, you're fine. This is my job. I should be not as stressed. Just goes to show that it doesn't always get easier.
Ow.
Okay, does that feel a little better? So bring in the like little punchiness of that big toe, and then you can put in the little nail. Does that feel more proportionate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not open. Is this I need to go on?
Yes, I think you're right. I think it needs to be more in that like little point that you have. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Yes, that looks good. Okay, perfect. How are you doing? Good? Okay. Nice, dude. That looks awesome. Okay. That's mine though. Oh, that's good. I think yours looks good. Okay, some of you have already gone ahead and put in the full layer of the pants. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to do that real quick so I can catch up to you. I love fabric. What?
This is Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
We're doing combined. I hate combined.
For flight?
Yeah.
I know.
What flight are you guys in?
Hotel.
So you combine with the junior high
Mm-hmm.
on certain days?
Wednesday.
Our wing commander told all of the flight sergeants, or not flight sergeants, all the flight commanders that they want us to incorporate the junior high flights into our flight.
Yeah, but the junior high always take our seats.
Yeah,
And
so
then
we
we
always,
get-
like the high school always get on one line, because one line always goes first to the junior high, and like a different line, and we always try to go.
We never ever do anything with our junior high flight unless it's like cleaning day.
That's
I have my flight on Mondays, so before with the old commander, junior high did drill on Mondays, and Mondays was high school's game day. But I've incorporated it together, so we switch weeks. So like every other week we do drill, and every other week we do games. But
We don't
do it,
even
like
do
with
drill.
the junior high.
That's smart.
I wish we did.
Yeah, your commanders are supposed to be making you do drill at least once a month.
Ha ha! We never do drill.
Yeah, we don't do drilling.
A lot of the commanders, though, I noticed, don't like follow that stuff. They just have their own idea of what it's supposed to be like, and they don't really like respond to feedback.
I mean, I don't mind whatever everybody wants to do. I just haven't had anybody take the initiative in my flight.
I haven't done drill since last year.
Oh,
if
I
in
was
flight.
told that if I got put in charge of India flight to never do drill with India flight because they wouldn't respond well to it. I was like, I don't
Why?
I don't know. Apparently there was like they had like a bad flight commander a while ago that made them do drill like constantly. But I was just like, dude, I don't particularly care like what happened in the past, you know, like
Well, that's the thing. They got to get past that.
yeah.
I just hate drill.
I love doing drill.
I like bearing tracks. I really like
I don't even know how to feel about it. I mean, I'm very happy, but like it's been a process. Okay, so I have most of what I need in. I'm gonna go back in really quick and darken some more things.
Huh? Okay.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
No.
Okay, sorry, I thought you guys were like ahead of the game. My bad.
I just realized I'm not done.
Stop. Which one is this? Stop yourself. HD. Stop yourself. Thank you. Okay.
I don't remember.
Have you seen season 2 yet?
Has it come out yet?
No, but I've heard that Zan is coming back. Yeah, Van is coming back.
From what I've heard, there's a character in
Oh, Laura, you're in class.
He's probably
I don't know, maybe
telling
she-
you later.
I didn't know joining the leg.
Should I just walked in and said,
I know this is gonna try.
There you go.
Okay. So here's how
do
I
it.
Your name?
You put it in.
Your name? Your name? I spelled it up that way. Your name?
Yeah.
I see what you
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't bug you if that, I mean, I wouldn't
You
bug
don't get it.
You know.
Yeah. Okay, so I keep splitting it in.
I was gonna say at some point you can move on, but I think this is the best shot.
Reason 84, how women are not finding
And then,
that
so,
on 35.
I don't think
Okay. Now are we ready to move on? No?
Yes.
Okay, hustle. I'll go like 30 more seconds.
I'm working.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of does look like Coach Tom.
Honestly, though? Honestly.
It does, though.
Okay. Okay. Clips. Okay, but when we move on, you need to switch to your 4B. Okay, we do not need to go back with our darks. We need to switch over to our 4B.
Are we gonna shape his hair?
Yes,
I haven't even
I already
done
done.
we're doing the whole shebang. We are not finishing this today. Okay, so I'm going to first start pulling in this line right here. Because again, that's
What
a
is
muscle
that
that we need. Okay, it's right here.
Are we using HB?
We are using our 4B. Okay, so I have a line in for the muscle. What did we do first with this leg?
Pull in the darks.
No.
Light.
We did one
Oh, yeah.
singular layer of value, right? So with our 4B, because this leg is a little bit darker, I'm going in with a very light layer of value. All the way down to those beefy toes. Yeah, remember we talked about them?
I don't like chicken. Especially
I thought we agreed they were potatoes.
I don't think we even talked about that.
I don't know if we said
They're
potatoes.
Oh, no, I said they were potatoes.
You said they were potatoes. We said they were beans.
I thought we said their fingers were beans.
The toes are too.
Oh my goodness, who cares? They are a food shape.
Ta-da.
There you
I
go.
don't like thinking of it as like a food shape.
I don't know, man. They don't look like a pineapple shape to me.
I said a food. It doesn't have to be specific.
Pineapple. Bro.
Okay. From this point, before I start putting anything else in, I want to make sure that we're blocking in where we see some of these lines that go above the knee. So we're putting little indications in. I'm getting too excited. My pencil is going crazy. Okay, I've got most of the lines that I need. Who? Oh. So I'm going to start on this dark, the far side that is a little bit darker. And again, we're going in with just circle motions. And we're just going to build until we are happy with the value that we have.
I just started smelling like garlic bread in there. That's weird.
I wonder if the cafeteria smells are wafting their way in.
In Coach Tom, like the office or whatever, you can always smell
It
like
smells
what's
like-
for lunch.
Well, yeah, because he's like right there.
I know, it's gross.
Is that what we're having for lunch?
I have no idea.
What?
But I can only smell it in there.
That's gross. We might need to shut that door. Okay, clearly as you move down to the knee, it's going to be much darker.
That's definitely not maps.
What? Oh, maps? I think I put other stuff in there. Yeah, you should get that.
Relabel?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of shocking.
I'm starting to think my lips too long.
Well, you can't go back now. Okay, on the far side of the knee, we're coming in with a little bit more value above it. But remember how we said last time, if you're going to put in a hard line, you have to blend it out. Sorry. What do you need?
This one?
No.
I need an expo marker, but I don't want.
An expo marker.
No, not expo markers. The things in the bin.
Files.
Oh, okay.
Is that too dark? It's like,
It is a little too dark. I mean, over here looks really nice for yours, but right here it needs to stay nice and light. So I'd go back in with your kneaded eraser and just kind of pull some of that out. Somebody's phone is on. Everybody's like, oh, let me check. Okay, on this far side of the knee, it is much darker right underneath. Okay, obviously right here. But then right back here is pretty dark as well. Do not lose this little slit right here. So I'm coming back over. Yes. For some dark value. To pull that calf in.
is that better?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he's starting to look really like Tarzan. I do think that this is a Polo Ono. I feel like it is. Okay, I have completed the calf here, but I want to make sure you guys are recognizing there is a line that comes up. So I started with the line and now I'm blending everything together because we also don't want to get rid of this nice little V down below. Because all those little shapes are what help show off where muscle is. Come in. Right here. Okay, and then I have one other section to really focus on, and that's the other side of the leg. Again, it is going to be dark. I can go ahead now and just put one layer over that knee because it doesn't need to be super bright. And then I'm just going to start moving down the line. Williams, did I say that you could put your stuff away? What you tell me was 9:15. Okay, we will continue this next class. We'll work on the foot and then we'll start moving up his body.
I thought we were going for us drawing each other.